Reichel controlling the damage of a head cold that seems to be settling in. Controlling it with hot tea.
Hot tea.
Just what your mother ordered.
Just what Robin ordered.
Joe is live today, by the way. It is Tuesday, December 29th, 2015. So if that's the same day on your calendar, which in most cases it is, because Joe very rarely does a rebroadcast. But you are welcome.
I'm alive today.
And invited to call in. The number is 622-9622. Maybe you are deciding, okay, when the new year becomes the new year, then I will build a new deck. And I need to know what I need to know. Because I don't know what I don't know.
And that's, it's funny because you say that, because we had a couple that we're working with, and they want to build a new house, and they don't know. It's like, okay, we want a house, but where do we start? So they contacted us.
Oh, really?
And we're helping them through that process. And, first we've got to figure out what they want. And then we've got to work within their budget to get them what they want.
Can you buy a template blueprint?
Well, you can. And
really?
The nice thing, here's the really cool thing about modern technology and the internet and all of the information that's out there. There are so many designs for homes and, like you said, blueprints, layouts and pictures, and even websites like Houzz, HOUZZ.com.
Oh, really?
You can go on these websites and you can look at different things that just give you ideas. It's unreal, the amount of information that's out there. And that's kind of where we started, was finding some pictures and houses that they liked. And then, they said they wanted for example, a 3-bedroom, and so, okay, we're looking at 3-bedroom houses, and whatever their square footage was, we're looking at that. And that's, the start of any project, no matter if it's, like you said, a deck or doing a remodeling, a bathroom remodeling. You've got to know what you want, and then you go from there in order to put it all together. So
does that cut a man out of the line of people who you need? Like, is there no longer a real need for an architect?
Oh no, you'll still need an architect.
Yeah. Sorry.
And that's where it can cut that phase out, because you can buy plans online. You can order them already done. So
there is an architect. It's just that he didn't do it specifically for you.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But here again, the likelihood of them finding a house that's exactly what they want online, it's possible, I guess.
Right.
Most of the time people want a custom home, and they're going to look at different ideas, but it's not going to be exactly what they want whenever they. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's going to be some changes. So. We had one lady, we worked with her, and basically the same type of thing. We figured out exactly what she wanted. We drew it, I drew it, and then, we took it, had a computer program and made all of it, and then took it to an architect, and he did all of the specific things to it. And, because these plans, no matter what, they have to be engineered for Florida, for where we're at. So they have to be specified as far as what.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you build a house based on something like you're talking about, but make it stronger? Like, say, you know what, I want to fortify this, because there was the story about the storms out of Texas, the EF, whatever the tornado strength was.
Right.
And the way they described it was strong enough to pull out a normally impenetrable house, or whatever they called it, a strong house. Could literally be knocked down by some of these tornadoes, and in fact, some of them did. Well,
and that's what a lot of people are doing nowadays is they're building these rooms in their houses that are built to withstand.
Oh, a safe place.
A safe room, yes.
Yeah.
So whether it's a part of the house or built into the house, certain areas are have been built, or a lot of times people build them to withstand certain. Storms or whatever. So, that's another option. And depending on what you wanted, a lot of times houses, might be wood frame and you might want to go with block, or it might be block and you want to go with wood frame. So it really depends on what you want, what your budget is, and making it happen. So pretty much It's really dependent upon, if there's a project, it's dependent upon what you really want and what your budget can withstand.
Not to take you on the curve here, but are you familiar with what used to be on the St. Petersburg Pier, the inverted pyramid building?
No.
Okay, well, just picture this. It was a very happening place. People would go there for, to fish and to go shopping and things like this.
To the pier?
Yeah.
Right.
And on the end of the pier, where it was kind of the hub of everything, was a building. The upper floor had more square feet than the third floor. I think it was a 4-story building. And that had more square feet than the second story, and that had more square feet than the first story. So it was an inverted pyramid.
Right.
And I thought, well, that looks like it would have been something most people, if I had designed that, they would have said, you're crazy. Why are you making the top wider than the bottom? But,
right.
but now they've torn it down. It was there since 73.
Interesting.
And they just tore it down, I guess, 2 years ago. But
now, why'd they tear it down?
I don't know.
Okay.
But they're building something new there, so.
Well, there's always, that's what happens a lot of times is older buildings get torn down for newer ones. And,
this is on a pier. So you're literally a couple of 100 feet out into the bay, into Tampa Bay.
They're putting something else there now?
Yeah, there was a new story this morning.
Interesting.
Yeah, so. But I know, so if somebody came to you to apply it to your show today and said, look, I want to build unusual house. It seems like you might have to, you might talk them out of it or something. I don't know.
Well,
like some of those dome houses that we saw a few years ago with styrofoam, right?
Right. It really, there's no need to talk somebody out of something if that's what they want.
I guess.
If that's what they want, and if they've got the finances to build it, why not? It's. And here's
it's a
the
challenge,
only thing.
right? It's a challenge.
Well, it could be a challenge.
Is it a desirable challenge?
Oh yeah, that's the neat thing about being in construction. And what I've always really loved about my job is we're doing something different all the time.
It's a creative part of you.
We could be doing decorative trim in a house one day and then building a sidewalk the next day. So. Really, it's a variety of different construction things. That's what makes it neat what we do. So whenever you apply that to somebody's dreams and you're making something happen, it's all good with me.
Were you telling me about the heated sidewalk that melted the ice and snow?
We've talked about that, I think, before, yeah.
Obviously, you wouldn't need it here. But,
no, you wouldn't need it here.
But that would be a cool thing to have if you were in a snowy place.
And we've done houses that have... the floor is heated, so there's hot water that runs through the floors to keep the tile floor warm.
That sounds like something could break, and then you would have. You would wish you didn't do that.
It does have an opportunity to break, so because you have pipes and
you're walking on it all the time. It's got to be some.
Well, it's in the concrete,
so that doesn't affect it at all.
No, walking on it wouldn't affect it. No. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. What you would have to worry about is just the pipes getting old over time. So.
Which always happens.
Right.
Things always get old. We're almost up to the middle already. Can you believe it? So if you have a question, maybe you're remodeling for the new year, maybe you're building a deck or something else of that sort, and you just don't, you went online, you went on YouTube, and you said, I still don't quite understand it. Just pick Joe's brain. He's here to do that.
And when we come back, we can talk about our Christmas Day disaster that we had to go out on.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Give me a hint. Fire? Water?
Flood.
Water. Okay. All right, we'll be right back with
Hello,
Joe.
Patty.
Hello, Patty. How you doing out there? She said, who the heck is that guy? She knows you, not me.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll take a little break and be right back with Joe Reichel. The number is 622-9622. We'll be right back, and we'll give you Joe's number on the other side.
Brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be partly sunny and very warm today with a high of 83 to 87. Partly cloudy, warm and muggy tonight, those ranging from 65 inland to 72 along the coast. For tomorrow, clouds will limit sunshine, a warm, humid day with a shower in spots, high 82 to 86. Thursday, warm but humid with intervals of clouds and sun. There can be a shower, mainly in the afternoon, the high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
It's the end of the fiscal year, and that means budget cuts and number crunching. Now's the time of the year you're evaluating your expenses, planning your budget, and finding ways to save money and increase efficiency to maximize profits. Dex Imaging understands and delivers. Call Dex Imaging today for a free document management evaluation. Cutting your office expenses is as easy as calling Dex Imaging, 352-266-0333. Start saving money today and increase your bottom line with Dex Imaging. Printers, copiers, and fax machines that increase office productivity and save you money. No one understands your bottom line better. Call Dex Imaging today, 352-266-0333, or check them out on the web at deximaging.com. That's DEXimaging.com. Or call 352-266-0333 for your free document management evaluation today.
Are you wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars on termite retreat fees? If you're not with Turner Pest Control, you probably are. Turner Pest Control offers the industry's only termite and pest control package that never charges retreat fees, ever. You can get started today for only $99. This is a value of $500 or more. This includes treatments, installation of monitoring stations, quarterly pest control, and a lifetime guarantee, all for an unbelievable low $99. Even if you have another pest control provider, visit turnerpest.com to find out how you can avoid paying those high termite retreat fees.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need
too.
my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
One of the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking, will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
All right, 12 minutes before 11 o'clock. Gosh, the time goes by, doesn't it? This is Damage Control. That's the name of the show. Joe Reichel is your host, and he's the co-owner, one of the co-owners of Damage Control Services. They fix homes. And before the break, you teased us with a story you're going to tell us about a Christmas disaster.
Yeah, the 25th, Christmas Day, I got a phone call, and it was from another restoration company that we work with, and they predominantly do biohazard cleanup, so crime scenes and things like that. So this was a flood that one of their contacts had, and so they called me to see if it was something that we could do. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're heading out to Inverness. That's when we got the call to go to Inverness and take care of this disaster. So what it was the flapper in the toilet got stuck open, and water continued to flow over into the commode and then out.
Oh no!
So it filled up the septic, and then it wouldn't drain anymore, and then it just continued to flow out into the house. So 3 rooms and a lot of water on the floor, and house full of people. They were all enjoying their family dinner whenever this was discovered.
Oh, I know what happened.
What happened?
They had a heavy wiper.
Well,
they had somebody
that
who
still
used
wouldn't have
too much toilet
No, that
paper.
would have clogged the toilet, but it wouldn't have left the flapper open.
All right.
The flapper controls the water coming out of the tank.
Maybe they had a jiggler, but it didn't need to jiggle.
They should have jiggled. The jiggling would have helped it. Probably dropped that flapper.
so that's what it was. They had a guest.
I like your hammer.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I thought you meant me. How you doing?
No, a little guy with a hammer. I like it.
If I had a hammer, you know what I would do? I'd hammer in the morning.
I'd hammer in the afternoon.
And I'd hammer all over this land. Do you know?
So anyway.
If I had a hammer.
If you had a hammer. Okay.
Do you know that song?
No.
Or are you just playing along with me?
I was just playing along. I wish I knew the song now.
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning.
That's what the song is called?
Well, it's called If I Had a Hammer.
I'll have to look that up. Might be a new theme song for the radio show.
You could use it, yeah. I don't think you're ever going to want to lose the one you have, though.
No, I like that one. So anyway, we were out there and got home probably about 9 o'clock that night from going out there. There was 3 of us go out to set up to do an extraction and set up a bunch of dehumidifiers and fans in order to get it all dried out for them. So the good thing is that it was clean water. It was out of the tank, and it wasn't out of coming out of the septic. There was no toilet paper or anything like that. It wasn't dirty water. Because
it's just water that was not
it's called clean water out of the tank. So
it's called clean water. Dogs drink
the other would be gray water is the technical term for it. But if it was gray water, if it was out of the septic and actually the septic backed up into the house, when that happens, we have to take everything out. We have to take all the carpet out. Nothing can be kept. Anything that was in touched by that is considered contaminated now, and we've got to get rid of it.
Oh, yeah.
So, here the family, they're walking around and they're bare feet because they're
sloshing around.
They've got water everywhere. They're they want to get socks wet.
Were they
or whatever,
good spirited, good natured?
Oh yeah,
about
it was really nice family. So, the only problem is that if that's the case, we've got to get rid of everything. So fortunately, it was clean water and we didn't have to do a lot of work. So, here's the song. It's evening. I missed it. I said the afternoon. Okay, I almost had it.
I'd hammer out danger. I'd hammer out warning. I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land.
I like that. I like that. If I had a hammer, huh?
Yeah. If I had a hammer. That little boy had a hammer.
He did.
I bet it made a hammering noise, too, when he smashed it against something.
What's a hammering noise?
You know how those little hammers have sound effects built into them?
Oh, that's what you're talking
yeah,
about.
like, like glass breaking.
My hammer has a sound effect when I hit something, too. I didn't know it was like that. Yeah, so.
You got to get a toy hammer.
Toys are cool. A lot of toys, and
they got the squish one, too.
There you go.
They got the hammer when it hits the table. I play with children's toys.
That's the really cool thing about kids' toys is you can get all kinds of stuff and really inspire them and
were you
as
the
they
kid?
grow up.
If I saw a home movie of you when you were little, did you have one of those little boards where you were knocking
I did have
pegs
one.
into a see?
Mm-hmm. I had one.
Everything we started out doing when we were kids.
It sure does.
Yeah. Yeah, if you looked at home movies of me, you know what you saw me with? A little guitar.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
My brother who became a mechanic, he had lots of little cars.
I never had a guitar.
But you had a hammer.
I had a hammer. If I had a hammer.
You're probably doing things with it, hammering things.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
That is. But, my grandfather was in construction too, so that was kind of,
Not your dad? So it skipped a generation?
Well, my dad helped my grandfather with some stuff, but he had another job too, so.
Yeah, see, my father was a policeman. I didn't have any interest in guns or badges or anything like that.
Huh.
But my brothers did, or at least one of them. One of them did.
Did they have a guitar?
No, I don't know where that happened for me. It just did.
Did you want a guitar?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, I was the kid with the guitar.
You like music, huh? I wish I knew how to play an instrument.
Then who would fix my house?
Well, I could do that too. This would be more of a hobby, I think.
Oh, I see.
I don't know.
Oh, I have a perfect guitar for you then if you want to learn.
I don't know if I want to do a guitar.
What do you want to learn?
I think I'd like to learn how to play the saxophone.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you know who could teach you? Amy Rath.
Amy Rath.
Yeah, you know Amy?
No.
Oh, you don't?
I don't think so.
Oh, she plays beautifully.
Is she an angry lady?
No. Oh, because of the word wrath? No, she goes to Robin's church.
Okay.
And we've had her in the studio. Anyway, she's really good.
We've got the big red bus out here now.
Yeah, they're getting blood.
I don't like needles.
You don't?
No.
Somebody has to donate.
Somebody does.
So we in the flood. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if there's carpet, you have to replace it, right? What about linoleum? Does linoleum have to be replaced if you had a flood underneath, the water was underneath it or around it?
If it's a slab leak and water's coming up through, you would have to replace it because
really?
pretty much what you'd have to do is tear out an area where you'd have to get down there to fix it, and it would also take the glue, separate the linoleum from the floor. If you had a flood, and a lot of it is dependent on the flood. It depends how long it was wet, because if the water gets under the linoleum, like I said, it will separate and it stays on there long enough. If it's just on there and it gets cleaned up pretty quickly, it's probably not going to be affected to where you'd have to remove it. So it really depends on, different situations. And that's where sometimes with carpet, sometimes it can be dried out and you don't have to replace the carpet. If it's wet long enough, if it stays wet, that separates the glue that holds the fibers together, and then your carpet falls apart.
Yeah.
So that would have, then you would have to replace it. Or if it's an older carpet and it's already, a considerable amount of wear, once that gets a little bit of water, it totally, would separate. And
so when you go to a restaurant, I always notice this, like the tile floor, and then it's almost like a little slope that goes up about 6 inches to another tile, almost like this edging here, but that's not attached to the carpet. In fact, here, when it was a restaurant, when we tore it down, this place had the same thing. And I always thought, well, that's because they really probably slosh a lot of water around on a restaurant floor to keep it clean.
A lot of times it's for cleaning. A lot of times it's just for protection, because if you hit that edge, you're walking or whatever, and you kick it, you're not going to damage it. So, and tile, typically with a tile floor in a bathroom or a restaurant, you're going to have a tile base. So, like in here you have carpet, in the studio here you have carpet, so you have what's considered a linoleum base. A vinyl base, vinyl. So if it wasn't vinyl, you could also have a carpet base, which is basically a strip of carpet with the edge bound, and they just put a cloth binding on the top edge, and it's just glued to the wall. Or you could do a wood base. A lot of times people use wood, and I think there's different spots in the studio where you do have the wood in here. So,
but
that's what's more common.
But when you're
base.
preparing a floor that will be cleaned with water, like a tile floor, it seems like there's a way to seal that edge so that it doesn't go under it, right?
Well, and that's why if you have a tile floor, typically you'd have a tile base, and that would create a solid area there where you could it could be wet all the way up to it. So most of the time, though, depending on the application, you're not going to be having a lot of water in an area. If you're going to be having a lot of water in there, you'd want to protect that so that the water wouldn't get behind it and into the wall. So like a washroom or something like that, where like what is that? We got a new song today, huh?
Oh, that must have been another Peter Paul song. Oh, sorry. I was going for We've had
That's sang the Hammer song. Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Yeah.
Neat. I didn't even ask. I should ask.
What is your phone number?
My phone number is 352-817-6574. If I had a hammer.
Say your phone number.
352-817-6574. That's my direct line. Or you can reach me, Joe at damageflorida.com. That's my direct email. If you have any questions or problems, feel free to call me.
I'll see you in 2016.
Right around the corner. If I had a hammer, we'd come fix your house.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. The recent severe weather in the Midwest raising